Education, education, education is the key to any progressive moving nation's fortunes. But with the country's public education system found wanting for quite some time, the NECT has been active for the past 10 years to create interventions that seek to make a difference. The NECT is a formation that includes the private sector, labour, NGOs, civil society, as well as parents to work directly with the Department of Basic Education to improve learning and the system of learning. The NECT's chair says great strides have been made in improving the area of curriculum coverage in classrooms.
Curriculum coverage, which was below 50%, is way over 50% now in the classrooms. An indicator, for instance, would be the grade 12 results. So in 2012, the percentage of learners who were achieving bachelor's passes was sitting somewhere in the region of just about 24-25%. It's now somewhere around 34, moving towards 35%, which is quite an improvement.
The NECT, which provides technical expertise among other assistance, says it's critical that it does more to work directly with educational districts because they're the closest authority to the actual schools where teaching and learning takes place. And anecdotal evidence suggests that this is proving to be a real game changer in the quality of education received by learners.
We've done a lot of longitudinal studies to just check exactly how the improvements themselves are happening. I mentioned earlier curriculum coverage in the classrooms. For instance, time on task. Is teaching happening? Are teachers showing up? Is there learning and teaching in the classroom?
The NECT has also been instrumental in assisting the Department of Basic Education to look ahead and anticipate the educational needs of learners as they head into a rapidly changing world of work, into the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution.
The area of policy making and education, looking at, for instance, what are the skills or competences that are required for the 21st century learner. We've been able to, for instance, pilot new ideas in terms of learning and teaching. Right now, we're supporting the Department of Basic Education in curriculum reform, strengthening the curriculum, which now not only focuses on the knowledge part, but also focuses on the skills and the competencies part.
The Minister of Education has lauded the efforts made by the NECT over the last 10 years, adding that being able to draw on the various players' expertise over the years has gone a long way in improving educational outcomes.
It's been great because both material resources, but also intellectual capacity that was brought by the private sector, but also just helping us to collaborate outside government. It was able to bring us onto the same table with our teacher unions as partners in education transformation. It brought us to mobilize because the other problem with business sometimes really is very enthusiastic about supporting education, but if they're uncoordinated, then everybody does a little thing at the corner and does not put, so they've been able to pull together those resources.
Despite the improvements noted, there's still a long way to go, particularly in getting the basics right, like literacy and numeracy. The NECT says it spearheaded the National Reading Coalition 5 years ago. This is an endeavour that draws on parents, civil society, as well as NGOs to ultimately assist parents and caregivers to teach children to read. Getting the educational basics right and better ensuring that the educational outcomes are able to meet with the demands of a changing and dynamic economy will directly determine the kind of jobs young South Africans can get and the kind of socio-economic prospects they and their families will be able to enjoy. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.